My name is Phil Howard, and I'm a partner with EY. I'm here today to talk about integrated finance, which is a managed service solution that EY will be bringing to our high growth core accounts. I'd like to introduce President, Chairman, and CEO of IntraBio, Mr. Mallory Factor. Mallory?
Hey, it's delightful to be here with you. We're thrilled to be working with you. We think it's a major success, and there's a lot more that we're going to do together.
Al, I'm so excited to be here with you too. Why don't you tell us a little bit about IntraBio and a little about the company, where we're going, and what's next?
The company started really to do the big neurodegenerative diseases. And what I did is I moved the company initially to the ultra rare to get a drug approved more quickly. We did have a drug approved, we do have a drug approved, and it's for Niemann-Pick type C, and it was approved a few weeks ago. But with the approval comes a host of additional problems, cash flows, international cash flows, all sorts of systems that we never had. Now, we could have done that ourselves, but it would have mean hiring a lot of people and possibly making a whole bunch of mistakes.
And I remember having the conversation day one when you were saying, hey, we need an audit, and I said, hey, Mallory, why don't we think about, let's do a readiness assessment, an IPO readiness assessment, and before we decide audit or accountant, let's go through that and figure out where we can serve you best. But at the end of that, we came to you and had this idea, said, hey, you're going to need some additional people, processes, and technology to become a public company someday. Instead of hiring these people, putting these systems, have you thought about this solution that we're talking about, integrated finance, and would it make sense for you?
The answer is we had never thought about it, considered it, or even heard of it. So let's make that point real clear.
One of the things we see in the life science industry is get an idea funded, go public, grow, hopefully commercialize, sell a company. But as people go through that process, they outsource to a lot of different service providers. And part of our service was to try to bring all that together and have a one-stop shop. And I believe it's been pretty successful so far in having that and not having to herd the cats per se. But can you highlight a little bit of how you thought about that?
Most of my peers come out of the big pharma area, and they have one way of doing things. And we don't. What we want to do is we want to innovate. We have extraordinarily bright people. I mean, people who are, that are very, very good in what they do and have a broad capability and broad spectrum of skills. However, we don't have a lot of depth. And it was the depth that would have really killed our people in terms of their abilities to operate. We just didn't have the bandwidth. We have never wanted to do it the big pharma way. So you really made sense to us, and it has worked, and it's worked extremely well. What it's enabled us to do is focus on what we needed to focus on. Again, getting the drug to market as quickly as possible and getting it to patients. And secondly, increasing our shareholder value. EY should be very proud of what you've done.
Thank you, and we are very proud of it. So highlighting a couple of things that we're doing for you, Mallory. We're helping you with treasury, so the forecasting, helping getting your banking set up. I know that was very important to IntraBio, especially becoming a commercial company. We're also helping with all your tax planning and compliance.
And that's the whole point. I don't want to talk to your treasury people. I don't want to talk to your tax people. I don't want to talk to your cash flow people. I want to talk to you, get an answer, and get the answer back simply.
So Mallory, just got a drug approved. I'm from Silicon Valley. You guys are in this unicorn space, which is super, super exciting. And what was your last round valuation?
Before we got our drug approved, our last round was done at $1 billion pre-money.
Right, and we're now 9 months, 12 months later, we have a drug approved, and you're onto the market. It's phenomenal what you've done. And I think someone said or told me you are the largest pharmaceutical headquarter company in Austin.
We're still a small company. We consider ourselves a small company, regardless of what our value is. But we're going to look at ourselves as a small company, really moving fast and moving forward.
Where are we going from here?
First of all, we will be expanding into Europe in terms of sales. We also are setting up various programs in Middle East, MENA, the area, Middle East, Asia, in Turkey, places all around the globe. And you're helping us really set the systems up to be able to handle that.
So teeing off that question about foreign currency and going into international markets, as you know, the solution we brought to you is based on SAP S/4HANA Private Cloud. And one of the things is you've been thinking about international expansion, not only being able to set up subsidiaries now automatically that feed into the system. So as we go international, complying with VAT, SAP helps you do that. It allows you to do that.
We've been told that it wasn't going to work for a company of our size, and we didn't have anywhere near the capabilities to do that. We believe that there's a cost benefit. There is a cost in terms of difficulty, but the benefits will greatly outweigh that.
Mallory, we're 2 months into operating for you, running procurement, helping with all your payments. Maybe talk a little bit about how you have felt the process and controls and operations have changed at the organization.
First of all, the controls have increased dramatically because of you. Well, what it's given me is the ability to have the information to manage more globally. You have helped greatly in terms of us not having to build huge infrastructure internally. That's really the key to what you've been able to do.
Mallory, I thank you so much again for spending some time with me today talking about our journey together. We're very excited to be on this journey with you and take you to new levels of success.
Well, thank you also, and thank your team at EY. It has been really an honor and a pleasure to have the opportunity to work with you. We don't consider you a vendor, we consider you an integral part of the IntraBio team.
Terrific.